really wonderful place to watch hockey at the high school level. Holm sets up. He gets a little bit of help as the puck is swatted back into the center ice area. Coming over to make the play was Lyle, and that one was just offside.
Yeah, going to be an offside. Duluth East came with some energy tonight. Obviously, there's a lot of emotion coming into it. It just seems like Grand Rapids has yet to find their offensive rhythm. Yes, we're early in this first period, but Duluth East certainly has a territorial advantage so far.
How much does Drake Anderson hurt this team off the back line, Bart? He's a pretty solid defender, not only defensively, but offensive transition.
Well, absolutely. He just makes the right decision at the right time. He's a very heady hockey player, very cerebral, but he does his job. He's the kind of player a coach like Trent Klatt can have confidence in each and every time he puts him on the ice.
From the left point, it's sent right back in by the Hounds. Shoveled down the rail by Lyle, and it's going to be gathered in by Langen. Here come the Thunderhawks back out to center. These two teams, of course, what a section final they played at the the Amsoil Arena last year. The Thunderhawks with the big win there. Big third period for them. Meanwhile, the Hounds looking to build on this season as they always do under head coach Mike Randolph. It's a slow build for his team, and he usually has them playing the way he wants them late. McLaughlin drop pass for Miller. Hain joins the rush down low on the up high there as that's covered and handled neatly by the goaltender, Kirk Meyerhoff.
Well, it was a nice lead by Hain to get it to Miller. Miller using those edges and his strength. Really, it seems like people kind of back off. They show him a lot of respect, almost too much. Got a pretty good backhand on Meyerhoff, but Meyerhoff held onto that puck face off to his right, but it's good to see Grand Rapids getting some offensive push.
Hey, Bart, did you get any of those muffins and rolls from Perkins?
No, I try to stay away from those, Pete.
They had the table. It was all dialed up. I don't. They were great. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Back out of the zone. They come now with Payne as he carries the center line, rings the wall, and Bart Archer owed that one too.
Well, it looked like he was going to wave it at first, but he just did the windup, and obviously the Greyhound got in just before the puck face off outside the zone. Pete, both of these teams have some challenges offensively going into this year. They graduated more than 50% of their scoring. Duluth East has a little bit better balance as far as offensive output. Grand Rapids a little bit more focused, something to keep an eye on as this game goes on.
And, we'll see if it's an incremental game for Grand Rapids as we work through this, as the transition has been so good. But how will they be from zone to zone? They were stopped down low and back up the way they come with Majo across the line. There's a shot that's off the arm, back in behind the net. Worth was there. Oh, Holm. Where's the puck? Oh, there it is. Rolls off. Which way did it go? Now it's going to be picked up and handled once again by the Greyhounds, and in on that play was Maju again. Through center. That's off the stick of McLaughlin. Rung off the right wing boards by Fisher. And at center, there's the Thunderhawks to pick off and play that one in deep. Fisher again regroups in his own zone. He has men angling through center and said he's going to be content to gain the center red and play this one in deep. Back behind the net, bumped off the wall and handled there by Fitzgerald. By the way, Rusty Fitzgerald, I believe the 91 grad of Duluth East son. And a roughing call will be coming up on the play.
Yeah, in fact, he took him to the wall pretty hard. I didn't know if it was going to be a penalty or not, but he was very decisive about that. But now Grand Rapids going to go to the box. There you can see it. He just got him pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good check, to be honest with you. But now we're going to see Duluth East on the power play. Duluth East power play needs a little bit of improvement. 18.6 on the year so far. They certainly have the horses to make that number bigger. They're going to get a great chance right now.
And we'll face off. There's a good look right in the dot for you there. From the right point, LeMaster shots deflected and back on the tape. They go behind the net with Fitzgerald. Now it's going to be left side, handled by Baker. His shot in on goal, and Holm makes the save.
And that penalty is going to be on Keegan Graber. Again, Duluth East, they had good momentum going into it. Now they're getting into that scoring area. They're really putting a lot of pressure on Holm. It's up to the Grand Rapids defenders to block out, give their goaltender a chance to see the puck. If he can see it, generally Holm can save it.
The Thunderhawks have been known to give up a lot of shots so far this year because they've got the great goaltenders that have bailed them out along the way. But remember, 1-2-1 in their last 4 coming into this one. And it's the Section 7 AA games. We talked about this last week, Bart. It was a non-sectional game against Holy Family. Oh, nice job to pick and pull. That's Worth with it across the line. We'll get back on that in a moment. Donovan from the right circle, give and go down low. Back up high to the left point. Donovan again. Looks down low. Off the side of the net for Worth. They look to play back to Donovan, and that sent the length of the ice. But, Bart, I was suggesting here that the Section 7 AA games have not been really friendly to Grand Rapids. You got a tie against Andover, a loss to Elk River. This game's a big one. There's a couple of things in there they're going to want to clean up here and get it. This is a big game for Grand Rapids.
Well, indeed, I think it's a big game for both teams, but Grand Rapids probably more the focus on getting their ship straight. They started out a house of fire. Pretty soon people started to talk and I think raise expectations. The thing about reading the headlines and hearing how great you are is eventually you start to believe it. Maybe they're just getting a little ahead of themselves. They just have to get back on point. And if there's a coach that can get them grounded, it's Trent Klatt.
Absolutely. That shot in on goal. Look at that Duluth East power play. Comes in at 18.6, just a little under 19%. Meanwhile, Grand Rapids, our producer Brett Michaels there had a few too many last night because he was out partying with the crew, with Ricky Rocket and the rest of the band. 36 to go in the man advantage. Back in behind the net it goes. Anderson lets that go. Fanning on that pass was Langen, and that is whistled down, deflected up and out of play. Bart, you can't help but appreciate the environment here at Heritage, the crowd and just the whole thing. It's big league. This is high school hockey. And I'm telling you, any major junior would love to have this too as well.
Well, my thought is you kind of built it up. By the time I got here, I thought I'd be let down. I walked in and I understand what you're saying. A very cozy, quaint arena. Really nice, and the fans are right on top of the players too.
I was a little afraid that I might have brought that to a little bit of a little overkill there on the cell job. So there's a shot in on goal. Holm turns it aside, back behind the net. On it's Fitzgerald. Oh, they're down low with an opportunity there for Baker, but instead it's cleared the length of the ice by the Hawks. Now here come the Hounds. They'll look up. They got their New York Rangers style sweaters as we wind down to 5 seconds to go in the man advantage. Thunderhawks, the high slot area. That's under the heel of Lemaster. And stepping back on is Graver. Now it's the Hounds once again. Offensive zone. Hain is in there to work out. And in there to take over, it's Fitzgerald as he's bumped on the play. And that one rolls up off the side of the net and will face off with 8:51 to go. We're scoreless here in the first period.
Well, Grand Rapids has done a pretty good job of defending. They're forcing everything to the outside. Duluth East is still getting into the net, but from very shallow angles, and Olin generally closes those down. They haven't quite got into that scoring area yet, but it's not from lack of effort. Pretty good penalty kill so far by the Thunderhawks.
Face-off win, controlled though by the Hounds. I mean, who do you give that win to? That was a 50-50 at its finest. Hain there. He's poke-checked away by Fisher. Now it's going to be Stampahauer from center. Nice pass right up the middle. Hain, a shot. And a nice save by Meyerhoff to the corner. Back in behind the net. Donovan is there, and now there's a whistle on the play. Down goes a Hound. I believe getting called to the bin there will be Payne, as that was Hain that got upended on the play. So now we'll get to see the Grand Rapids power play.
Well, didn't really see it in the proximity, but it looked like he took him in pretty hard. But again, Grand Rapids did a good job of defending that one. That had to give them a little energy. Now they have the man advantage. It'll give them a chance to possess the puck with a little comfort, with a little space. Now it's up to them to take advantage of this opportunity. The pressure's going to be on Kirk Meyerhoff, senior goaltender for the Greyhounds, to pick up his teammate.
20 whites, 2 minutes for high stick, 8 orange, 2 minutes for holding.
So you got a high stick and a hold. Offsetting minors are going to go here off of that one. So it'll be 5-on-5 hockey for the duration here. Has it got money in the corner there, Bart? We'll just tell you that. How's that?
Very good.
Tight quarters here from the press box, from press row. Hopefully you're getting a good view of the action in your comforts of your own home here on Let'sPlayHockey.com. Section 7 AA Showdown. Regular season matchup, the Thunderhawks and the Duluth East Greyhounds. Shot that's wide of the net. Meyerhoff watches that one, slides over, but that's pulled off his pad and sent around the wall by Donovan. Over skating there is Jagger, and he'll play it back in behind the Duluth East net. Looking to break back out now on the puck. It's going to be Kuchera. That's off the equipment and up and out of play by Evan Mischke. And, Bart, one of the things that we have to mention about the Thunderhawk team is we saw the big line broken up the other night, of course, by Trent Klatt against Holy Family Catholic. They didn't get the win, but what did you think about the overall flow of that, trying to look to get more scoring spread out?
Well, I kind of liked it. Micah Miller doesn't really need any teammates to make him better, and he can elevate the play of his line mates. So I think it actually diversified them a little bit, made them a little bit more difficult to cover. But Holy Family speed, boy, I was very impressed with the way that they played. But yeah, I thought it was a very deft move by Coach Klatt.
I'll tell you what, they are going to be formidable in their section. But you were correct, Bart. Micah Miller proved in that game that he made those around him better. And we saw Don Lucia from the Gophers there watching on, and you look at that and you say, wow, that to me is the mark of a high-end quality player.
Oh, no question about it. He does just so many things well. A lot of checks in the right boxes. I'm sure the Thunderhawks are happy he's wearing the orange.
Shots on goal read for 7 for the Hounds and for 3 for the Thunderhawks of Grand Rapids. They'll pile up on the side of the net. So, after the crew, each team held the flag. That didn't last too long as the pleasantries were exchanged there off the side of the goal mouth.
Well, I was kind of impressed the way that they actually handled that. Everybody on their best behavior. But obviously, hockey's an emotional game, and this game is not short on that. But again, Duluth East trying to force it in on the shallow side. They just got to get it in the areas. But as I said, Grand Rapids doing a lot better job of blocking out than they did against Holy Family.
Sent back up through center. It's now going to be Miller across the line. Micah Miller watched to the corner by Lemaster. One-timer that zings up high off the glass from Stampahar. Now it's going to be picked up by McLaughlin. Pulls away from one man. Protects the puck. Bumped away from him. Stampahar takes over. Up high off the skate of Miller. And back up through the center ice area. On that's the big man, the captain, Meju. Oh, nice little move there, looking in on goal, to the back end, they score! Garrett Worth with a little individual effort there, inside out with the stick handle to the backhand, and it's 1-0 Duluth East.
Well, the junior forward is somebody that Mike Randolph looks for offense, and we can see why. He just brought it in, nice individual effort, and here you can see Worth, pulls it onto the backhand, gives the goaltender a look, and then pulls it to the backhand, goes short side. I think Holm really got kind of left out, but then he covered a lot of the space, but that puck had eyes. Really a nice play by Worth. That's his 5th goal of this season, but what a big goal it was. Broke the ice for this Duluth East Greyhound team.
Matching the sweater number. I thought he was going to run out of real estate on his way down the slot area there, Bart.
I agree with that.
So on their 9th shot of the game, the Duluth East Greyhounds strike Pater. There's a shot that's fought off by the goaltender, Meyerhoff. Rebound, another rebound, 3 in a row. They pile up on the Hounds goaltender. So now the coincidental minors will be released. Payne on one end for the Thunderhawks, and of course Payne on the other. They'll face off to the right of the goaltender, Meyerhoff, in the Grand Rapids zone. Through the neutral zone it goes. And it's going to be turned back up to the right wing side, deflected back in by the Hounds. 5:58 to go. Sliding over to make the play is Anderson. Anderson is checked on the play, bothered as well by Jagger. He goes down to Hain as he comes back away with it, tries to play this around. And it's going to be McLaughlin to protect the puck. Back in behind the net. Stampahar. Long pass off the stick of McLaughlin. He got a piece of that. Ooh, they still call that an icing call. And they got it. They know that was a mistake.
Well, there was a miscommunication. Referees called an icing, but it was touch. Trent Klatt voiced his displeasure, and they agreed. Faceoff's going to be all the way down into the Duluth East zone.
So we'll face off back where the puck was. It used to be they do it at center ice, but now the new rule is they do it on the location of where the puck was or was going, which really makes sense.
I always thought that made sense, but big face-off regardless.
Chipped off the boards. It's played back in behind. Now across the line, it's Fisher as he rings the wall. Coming down to make the play. Now it's going to be Worth, the game's lone goal scorer, as he pulls the puck away from traffic, pushes that one wide off the end boards. Crashing down on the forecheck is Meju. Now Hain gathers in from center, finds the oncoming Stampahar across the line, gets away from Worth. Donovan now watches him to the corner. Stampahar with it, looks to Miller to the slot area. He's not there. 4:57 to go in the period, and it's played back up through center ice. Meju is there. That hits the official, and it trickles back in and the length of the ice for an icing call.
Well, nice job coming up the ice by Grand Rapids. It was Hain that was looking for Miller. Miller was covered, so he dropped it back to Stampar. Stampar actually gained the zone. That's a dynamic that that Duluth East is going to have to be aware of. They're not afraid to use their defensemen. Obviously, not having Hyland, not having Anderson in is going to stem that a little bit, but Stampar is still a force out there on defense.
He's logging a lot of ice time here so far in period number 1. Pinching are the Thunderhawks, sent right back into the Hound zone. Kuchera is there off the boards, now picked up by Cochran. Not a lot to see there. We'll tell you it's from the right point and sent back down by Bowman. In the neutral zone it goes, gathered in by Broking. And he plays that one back through. And it's handled now by the Thunderhawks. That gets away from one man. Broking will have to regroup once again. Back behind his own net. Thunderhawks have had a large amount of the puck possession time here since that goal was scored, but haven't been able to score, gather many more scoring chances for their own. In on goal as Holm makes the save.
Well, this is a line that's going to have to step up for Grand Rapids in my eyes as it stands. They put Miller on this line, so they're breaking him up a little bit. But it's the Graber and the Burnson. Those are the guys that have the capability to step up. They've done it in the past before, but I think Coach Trent Klatt is going to lean on them a little bit. I really like what I've seen from Duluth. This is my first blush with them so far this year. Very good team speed, but they have great spacing, great positioning, and through that it's really kind of stymieing this Grand Rapids push.
So 4:01 remains here in the period. And it'll be the face-off to the right of the goaltender Gabe Holm in the Grand Rapids zone. Hounds control now on the right side. It's going to be LeMaster. Plays that one to the goal mouth area. That doesn't get through. Miller comes away with it. Off the glass and tipped into the bench area off the stick of the forward there, Anthony Del Greco.
Well, Pete, there's going to be a lot of guys on this Thunderhawk team. That's the trouble with losing a couple key players as the continuity of the line changes are adjusted. There was talk that he was going to put Gavin Hain back on defense, which he did last year, but he chose to keep him up and bring the young kids up and give them more playing time. I think he made the right decision. Instead of upsetting both your forwards and your defense, he's just trying to manage the defensive part of it and let the forwards kind of work themselves.
Face-off win. Here comes Hain across the line. He can create. Not impressed, though, was the defenseman Payne. Inadvertently called him Donovan earlier. Now here comes a man sprung on the play, Worth. Nice diving defensive play made there by Jagger. Reaching back now, it's sent rink wide by Miller. Will this make it in on goal? Meyerhoff will watch this one wide of the net. And it is an icing call now with 3:23 to go in the period.
Boy, when you see Worth with the puck in the offensive zone, Cam Yeager did a nice job, the sophomore defenseman, to take the proper angle, cut him off, and really eliminate what could have been a pretty legitimate scoring chance. So nice back check on that one by Cam Jagger.
Cam, don't call me Mick Jagger. Back behind the net it goes. Thunderhawks again with the face-off win and a clean breakout. Poked off the stick. Now across the line, that opportunity from Graber was negated, and back in behind to the corner it goes. From center, off the stick of Hill, and it's sent right back in by the Thunderhawks as they want to work the forecheck. Hounds now leading 1-0, breakout through center. On the stick now for Fitzgerald. Hill angled to his right, stopped on the play. That hits traffic and to the slot area. That one fails to click. Over is Holm to cover up the post. They get a little bit muddy there off the side, then it's still loose, and Holm goes, Hasek drops the stick and picks it up with the blocker pin.
Very impressive. He made the play that needed to be made, but again, guys like Cam Yeager coming out and playing, pretty big minutes. I think that's going to help long-term in the development, but he looks very comfortable out there. Grand Rapids, again, doing a successful job of forcing things to the outside and letting Holm get these shots that he can manage quite freely. But a little alley there for a moment, but face-off to his right. As you can see, 2:40 left in this first period. Duluth East pressing and up by 1.
The face-off now to be taken by Anderson. Tossed is Hain, and in comes Miller. Miller pulls this one back. It's going to be picked up by Jagger. Outlets to the left wing. Looking for Miller. Comes away with this puck. Bounding across the line. Miller wrist shot. Blocker pad. Steered aside by Meyerhoff. Nice focus there with bodies flying in at him from all directions. Stampahar is there. McLaughlin. Hain. Shot that's deflected. Now it's McLaughlin again. Tries to cycle for Hain. Good positioning there by Anderson. Helping him out behind the line is Payne. Hain and Miller are off the end line as well as Stampahar tries to play this one down the wall, but the Hounds are there to keep that one from getting deep. Nice job by Payne, the defenseman, in on goal. His shot deflected. Neat play there by Broking to break that up. Off the line it goes, and looks like there's an injured Greyhound player clutching his arm. It looks like it's Payne, Bart. I didn't quite see what happened there.
No, it is Payne, and I didn't really see. We're going to see if we can get that on replay, but he went down, didn't get up. The referee looked at him like he was going to keep the play continued, but he rolled over, and the referee made the prudent call and called the whistle so they can get the trainers out there. You don't want to take any chances, but it looked like it was a wrist or something, but he kind of fell a little awkward, couldn't brace himself, so obviously we're going to take the necessary time. Ooh, okay, kind of the knee to knee or foot to foot, something, but he didn't land very comfortably, but hopefully we'll take the necessary time and he'll be back in action very, very quickly.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll have more right after this. Hockey fans, when you're in Duluth, you got to stay at Park Point Marina Inn. They're Duluth's award-winning waterfront hotel resort, and also the TripAdvisor 2015 and 2016 Certificate of Excellence National Award winner. With 68 deluxe rooms, most with outside decks, views of Duluth Harbor or Duluth City Side and aerial lift bridge, enjoy our 73-item pantry breakfast buffet with waffles, eggs, sausage, and potatoes. Conveniently located just 4 blocks from Canal Park. Amenities include indoor pool, hot tub, sauna, gift shop, fitness center, a business center, 2 outdoor patios, fire pit, 2 meeting banquet rooms, breakwater pier walk, and family picnic area. Enjoy a complimentary evening shuttle bus to Canal Park. Lobby Side Limited Service Bar serves frozen pizza and sandwiches. We're just 1 block to Park Point Beach. Sailing and fishing charters leave directly from our docks. Jacuzzi suites available. Don't forget, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you need to check out Park Point Marina Inn, Duluth's award-winning waterfront hotel. From the Heritage Arena in lovely Duluth, Minnesota, with 1:35 to go. Cross the line. In on goal, as tied up on the play was Burnson. Took that pass from Di Giuseppe.
That was a nice job by Carson Cochran to actually tie him up, because there was indeed a second chance. Meyerhoff made the first save, but Carson Cochran, the sophomore defenseman, played like a big timer on that one and tied him up. Nice play.
Face-off pulled back in behind the Hound zone. Lemaster is there. Plays this one off the boards. There's a look and a shot in on goal. A great opportunity there. Di Giuseppe snuffed out by Meyerhoff, the senior.
Yeah, in fact, Di Giuseppe's in the troubled area. He paid the price, but he knew he would, but still got the puck on net. But Meyerhoff's one of those goaltenders. Last year he had decent numbers. This year's numbers are exceptional, and he's showing us why. He stands very, very tall. For a large man, he's got great side to side, but he seems to have pretty good control over the rebounds as well, and pretty good support by his defenders.
Indeed he does. Another offensive zone face-off and a defensive zone win for the Hounds. Right wing for Donovan. That's off the stick for Hill, and he'll take it back over. Donovan bumps off the boards. A couple of big drinks out here on this shift for the Mike Randolph-led Duluth East Greyhounds. That goes again off the stick of Majou, who bumps that off the boards. He's there momentarily and back at center ice and sent right back in with 6:05 to go here now in the first period. Miller, that one trickles through the goal mouth area all the way through. McLaughlin tries to submarine a would-be checker. Oh, they're going to get a holding call coming up here, I'm certain. And now it's going to be McLaughlin as here comes Gabe Holm. McLaughlin races up ice on the freebie. Left wing side for Miller. Plays back in behind for Hain. Now it's McLaughlin. They keep away from the Hounds so far. Now Stampahar plays back in behind the net. McLaughlin with it. Looks out front. And there's a chance off the stick of Burnson. He comes away with it to the corner. Still possession for the Thunderhawks. Miller taps it back to the left wing side. Stampahar's shot. That's off the glass. Big Karam there with 5 seconds. They nearly had the full 45 seconds of power play time there at the 6-on-5.
Yeah, and I think it's Ian Magoo that's going to go on this one. One of the captains for Duluth East. Kind of a penalty you don't want to take in the waiting moments, but just got his hands up and on him. But pretty good sustained pressure by Grand Rapids. Didn't get really any good looks, but they maintained possession and forced Duluth East to defend. Now they're going to get a brief 5.3 second power play. Probably going to have to win the draw, maybe go to the net, maybe get it back for that one-time shot, but it's going to be an exciting 5.3 seconds.
Miller, they had a little movement off the right side. Payne jumped in a little quick. He was jostling there with Hain as well.
Told you it'd be exciting.
Thunderhawks wanted more time put on the clock. It doesn't matter as that ends the period, and the Duluth East Greyhounds take the lead on a Garrett Worth goal, and they hold the 1-0 lead after one period.
Well, I think it was a really good period by Duluth East. They came out with energy and really put pressure on Holm, and Grand Rapids kind of put them by the 8 ball. Grand Rapids a nice job of getting back into the flow of this game. I just hope special teams don't rule the roost, so to speak, tonight, and they can play 5-on-5 a bunch. But I was very impressed with the period. Not a great flow, but we didn't expect a great flow in the first period. Second period should open up a little bit for some good old-time hockey.
We'll be back with more as as high school hockey continues. Duluth East and Grand Rapids right here.
We are between periods of the Let's Play Hockey Game of the Week, and we're joined by True Hockey's Jason Kasuris. You are a part of a company that is a growing hockey equipment manufacturer, and you have some great stuff. Jason, can you tell